Wait, did Trump just call human beings monsters on live television? Listen to this.
As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons, a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions. They sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States.
This is one of those moments where you have to pause the video and ask, did he really just say that? In this clip, Trump isn't talking about a specific crime or a specific person. He's using sweeping, dehumanizing language to describe entire groups of people, calling them monsters, animals, and saying they were dumped into the U.S. from prisons and asylums is not just inflammatory. It's a classic political tactic. When leaders stop using facts and start using fear, it's usually because fear is easier than evidence. And notice what's missing here: names, dates, charges, proof. Just raw outrage, designed to hit emotionally, not logically. After that, Trump claimed Washington, D.C. has no crime at all. And that's not a joke. Watch this.
See, well, we have a totally safe city where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly. And now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago. A little bit of a different kind of a threat. But we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have two, on average 2 a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore.
This might be one of the most jaw-dropping claims in the entire speech, and that's saying a lot. Trump looks straight into the camera and says Washington, D.C. now has no crime. Not less crime. Not improving crime. No crime. At all. That's not spin. That's an absolute statement, and absolute statements are where things fall apart fast. Here's why this matters. Washington, D.C. is one of the most heavily documented cities in the country when it comes to crime data. Police reports, court filings, local news, federal agencies, all publicly available. So when a president claims there hasn't been a killing in 6 or 7 months, that's not just optimistic framing. It's a factual claim that can be checked in seconds. And when leaders make claims this extreme, they're not speaking to inform. They're speaking to dominate the narrative. Notice how the story immediately shifts. He credits the military, the National Guard, federal intervention, painting himself as the sole reason safety exists at all. That's powerful messaging, but it's also dangerous. Because if crime magically disappears only when one leader is in charge, then any criticism of that leader becomes a threat to public safety itself. That's how accountability gets reframed as sabotage. Also pay attention to what's happening emotionally. The claim isn't meant to convince policy experts or residents of D.C. It's meant to make supporters feel secure and critics feel crazy. If you question it, you're told you're lying. If you point to data, you're dismissed. This is how reality gets replaced by loyalty. And here's the bigger issue. When people accept obviously false or exaggerated claims because they like the speaker, it lowers the bar for everything that comes next. If no crime can mean some crime, then temporary control can mean indefinite power, and safety can justify anything. That's why moments like this matter. Not because of politics, but because truth doesn't disappear all at once. It erodes when statements like this go unchallenged and normalized.